What's up everyone, Mitchell Saltzman here, and a little while back, I got a chance to fly out to Los Angeles and visit the Riot Campus to check out the latest 2X KO champion that just released today, Caitlyn. She was a lot of fun, and while 3 hours isn't enough for me personally to really be able to figure out a character, I did get a chance to sit down with lead champion designer Jaffe, who was able to walk me through her kit, the more unique and less obvious elements of her moveset, and I also got a few developer insights as to what led to some of the design decisions behind her character. So, without further ado, here's Alex.
So her sniper rifle is kind of the core, the beating heart of the kit.
Yep.
Right, she's got an up shot, a grounded shot, it goes full screen, but it's not instantaneous. She has an air down shot, an air forward shot, and that's kind of the core of it. But the thing that starts to make it, we add all these nuances to make it so it's expressive, and there are lots of ways to play with it. You can charge the shot. Right? And when you charge it, it's a bigger reaction, you get more out of it. You can charge the air shot. But while charging it, you can aim it too. Right? You have these like really kind of broad aiming angles. You can aim the down one, the air one, you can aim like that, right? You have lots of different ways to kind of call out your opponent's position and be really thoughtful about where they're moving. Oftentimes you're not even trying to shoot them, you're trying to shoot where you think they're going to be, right? You're kind of making those like sniper-like calls, right? Or you're putting in like, suppressive fire for your teammate or something like that. And then on top of all that, on top of the charging and aiming, she also can cancel. Right? 2 shots in a row. This is, honestly, we chose to do this partially because we just thought that's like a satisfying, fun thing to do. It's like, just that moment of like, when I have like one gun where each bullet matters, to have that like click moment when I get ready for the second one. We wanted to feel that instead of just a bunch of independent shots.
Yeah.
And then we're like, cool, what game flow does that bring us,
I noticed about the second shot, there's kind of like a sweet spot timing that turns it like into a blue bullet.
That's the charge. So the second shot can also be charged.
Okay.
So either of these shots can be charged. And look, when you charge this one, you get, right, like a launch there, right, instead of that. But when you charge the second one, you get like really big reactions. Like a wall bounce, or on the ground you get a tumble. Right, and so you're kind of, as Caitlyn, you're trying to stay mobile and get these shots in, and ideally find the time to aim your shots so you can get your really good reactions,
Okay.
And a lot of her other tools are there to support her finding those moments. She can't just be spamming this thing. It's very, very risky to spam this. Like, the recovery is really high, you can see. Like, she's going to get punished even from a range like this, potentially. Or at least from, like, this range. And so, right, it's like finding those opportunities. She also has, in addition to this cancel, she has a forward translating cancel, right? So it's kind of her like aggressive. Again, we want to be like she's going in. She's not playing fearfully, playing keep away.
Yeah.
And this one too can be charged and aimed, right? You have all this flexibility. You're kind of learning the palette of tools with her. In addition, you have these rolls. The roll, just do nothing, or you can go into a shot for them. You can go into a shot from this one, so you kind of get to stay mobile this way as well. And these shots too can be charged and canceled, right? So the whole thing all works together. Let's see, I think that's sort of, and then kind of the cherry on top here is the flick, right? So we wanted more skill tests around aiming. We wanted to be like, hey, there's hard stuff to do with this character that isn't the normal fighting game hard stuff. It's hard stuff you might be good at from another genre, from an action game or an FPS or something, right? And so really, really like lining up your shots and kind of doing like your no scope, like that, to get the right timing. We haven't even found them, but we suspect there are going to be like specific combos where like you have to flick to get the combo fast enough to like keep the hit stun scaling down so you get a certain route, Okay, so her other tools. She has a couple traps. She has this, which is her bola, kind of like our take on her net from League. And you can see, it's kind of situational. Like, you can just run under this thing, right? If you're close enough. So I really have to think about how I put it out there. But if it does land, on hit especially, I can get a lot. I have my air version here. They're slightly different. And I can even cancel to these from my gunshots, just to give a little bit more flexibility. Because one of the things we found was like, even with everything I showed you, it still ended up being like, after Caitlyn shoots, she kind of just shoots again. But it gets a little more interesting if you can do stuff like that, Because her bola, it's not just this, it's not just the air version, she also has this, which I think is like a super fun move on the kit. It's part of what keeps her really aggressive. It even has a hitbox on her knee there. And then you can keep hitting buttons after, right, like that. Sorry, terrible with that.
Can you shoot the bullet out of the air?
You cannot. And we actually thought about that, but we kind of kept her. We didn't want it to be too much like target practice everything mode, so she has other places where that kind of mechanic exists. So her other trap is this, her campaign trap. She has also a charge version, which goes farther. This she can shoot. Oh my god, it's too bad. This she can shoot for a little bounce. And the angle is always the same. Even if I do it up here, it's always this horizontal angle. It used to track the opponent at one point way too strong. So instead we want it to be like, hey, this kind of helps like disrupt their expectations for where you're going to shoot, but it still only covers the grounded space.
Okay.
And yeah, you can see she can even cancel the toss and she can cancel these into shots. So she has that kind of flexibility. And then the other thing she can shoot, her X-Tech Enforcer Shield. So this thing, see, it does like 3 hits. If I get you out of the corner, oh my god. Medium, heavy. Okay, if I get you out of the corner, you'll see it kind of like knocks back. There's 3 separate hits.
Lots of knockback.
Yeah, a ton of knockback. Kind of to give you time to like mess with it if you're blocking it, so you can kind of keep countering it. So the other thing this supports is more shots. So it empowers her shot. Oh. See, that does 3 hits and it like electrifies them. And I can like, right? I actually have to work for some of these different angles. And it also, these to kind of further make that a little bit more advanced.
It makes it ricochet.
It makes it ricochet off the floor specifically. So you kind of get this like wider variety. So you have to be paying more attention to the full space of options when that shield is at, right? She gains like all these different. We just wanted it to feel like, hey, there are like fun aiming tests with her, you know? I could like, there are definitely, you know, situations where I'm like, you know, like I shoot my opponent to knock them into it, to then hit another panel to electrify, to get another one into them, and yeah, a lot of fun stuff to do.
My watch!
Yeah, some aggressive tools. Like I said, we have this roll, and this roll actually lets you go into a slide. This is actually very strong. This slide, low profiles a lot of hits, just goes right under them. It's a low, it's pretty fast. I can beat retreating guard really well. And then she has this overhead. And we're kind of, you know, for some of these moves, we took some inspiration from the way she fights in Arcane, but very, very mostly. Obviously some from the League. But this overhead it's like pretty fast. It actually, even this works versus high skill opponents sometimes. But again, it was a little too linear. We don't want too many moves that are just these like canned, like, did you block it or not? So we want to give her more expression so she can early exit it into her S2 specials.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I can be like, if you block, I can be like pressure you, go into this. Okay, cool, you had to block that high. But I can mess that up by like going like that and then go for an overhead.
They
like
can also call it assist for cross.
Exactly, you got it, yeah.
What about her Super 1?
Yeah, so Super 1, I really like. So at the base, it's kind of like, okay, it's just a powerful shot, right?
Yeah.
It pierces a lot of other projectiles. It's very fast. It goes full screen. It can pierce opponents, but it has some fun features. Obviously, you can aim it. It does. It's quick enough that you do, and you don't have perfect line of sight. It's definitely possible to miss. Like, you do have to aim it thoughtfully, but also. If you listen to the audio, you hear her say headshot when you hit the head. You get more of a screen freeze, you get that golden line, and you get extra damage from hitting head. This was a funny problem. We knew we wanted headshots of the character in some way. It's a big part of the fantasy. There was a while where we didn't think it was possible to do an actual headshot mechanic from a gameplay standpoint. Because if you just start like jumping around with Vi, right, and like maybe doing some attacks and stuff, like who the hell knows whether I hit her head, right? There's so much chaos going on. So there was this really cool, like, I guess, like, synergy moment where, like, 2 things we wanted came together. We knew we wanted this slowdown moment on the Super to kind of give this feeling of, like, it's almost like you're in her mind. Like, it's like the world slows down and she lines with a perfect shot. And as we were doing this, we, like, realized that this was an opportunity for the headshot because the opponent is frozen or moving in, like, super slow motion. It's actually possible to line up that headshot without just being subject to the chaos of whatever the animation is doing at any given time. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so we actually got to put that headshot mechanic, which I don't think has ever been in a fighting game as far as I know. There's almost never anything that like cares about specific points on the character's body because characters are such different heights. There's so many, their bodies move around so much it doesn't make sense. But when the game is frozen like that, when it's in slow motion, you can actually do it. So we were really happy that worked out. And there are like some little details here, like if you shoot through. If you shoot your S1 super through your S2 super, you get guaranteed headshot damage no matter where you hit.
Oh, cool.
Let's see. And then in terms of normals, she's got her gun butts on the lights, her mediums, her kicks. This was pretty intense. Its ability to cross up.
Oh, I didn't even notice that one.
Yeah, kind of a classic air cross up.
Is that air light?
Air medium.
Air medium?
Yeah, it's quite good. This used to be really insane. And then we've got kind of some bigger hits here, her launch, boom, all of those, kind of same visual language. And then she has, I think, just the one command normal, which is her back heavy. Yeah, I really like this one. It gets into different heights, there are different routes you can do with it. It ends up being a pretty good anti-air, because this anti-air translates forward a good amount, so you actually really need it to anti-air versus like people coming for a cross-up or something like that. Oh, sorry, and her air down heavy is insane. It's so good. It just hits really low, it hits really far behind her, and it has this cool property where it knocks them backwards. And so that's the core of her routes, actually, is I probably can't do it on pad, so it's good to bring it, but let's see what I can do.
Is her slide, can it be safe if spaced, or is it always punishable?
I think so. I think it's unsafe at all distances. Let's test. That, you know what? That wasn't full screen though. Let's see. How about from right here? Oh, I'm too far because of the block push. I see. Yeah, interesting. I actually haven't experimented with spacing this that much. I don't know. Yeah, when you hit it super meaty, I actually don't know exactly what the frame is. It's a great question. Oh, I whiffed. Okay. Wow, look at that. That's actually. You're right. the classic spaceable slide. I forgot her ult.
Oh yeah.
So we really knew we wanted this kind of an ultimate sniper moment, to really emphasize the fantasy of it. I love what the animators did with this, of tracking the bullet instead of just focusing on either of the characters.
Super cool. I know you picked Caitlyn and Darius here. Is there any unique synergy with that team that made you want to pick this team?
The reason I kind of play Darius with all teams because he's basically the simplest character in the game, and so it helps me focus on whatever else I'm doing. In terms of, but there are certainly, one fun thing to do with Darius is with bleed, it makes your keep away game a lot more meaningful. With wound, excuse me, is what we actually call it, right? So if Darius gets bleed, wound, right? And then I'm able to get Caitlyn back in, if you block, right? This starts to get, my keep away game suddenly becomes a little more productive, Because you don't usually want to be just playing keep away like this with Caitlyn for too long. You're going to want to go in, you don't want to get out. For example, if I just see you feeling really defensive, I can be like, okay, screw this, cancel the first one of these into these, and now I have cover to approach. Now I have cover to do this. Or more likely, really, really strong is this. Excuse me, buttons. But if I've got wound, that kind of changes the scenario a little bit. Also, just in general, Darius, if I have 2x assist, his forward assist
pretty much
is,
with everyone,
yeah, but especially those with good high translation, like him, can move forward a lot. That ends up being really good to just let her keep playing her game, and similarly, she can lay down fire like that to protect, and get some additional. But no, I don't know, I don't think there's anything incredibly clean on the synergy front. I didn't go into this that much, but a lot of the tension with Caitlyn that we tried to find a space was there's a lot of nuance in terms of when you get value off the projectile. So I'll show you some examples. If I'm full screen, I should be pretty consistently be able to get my 2 hits.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit of damage. And if I charge, now I can get the wall bounce, right, and go crazy. But hitting this charge shot, it neutrals a lot harder, right?
Yeah.
So the dream would be to do tap shot and charge shot. Up close, I can do that, right? Which doesn't get you the wall bounce unless they're airborne. So let's say, maybe one good example of something like this. Right?
Oh, cool.
So the point is that there's this decision space where I can go for something like a charge shot from there, but you notice that didn't combo. But if I do this, it does combo. If I do the kind of advancing follow-up, then I'm close enough that the bullet's closer, so it actually hits on time.
Yeah.
But by doing that, if I don't confirm, this I'm super punishable, right? And so a lot of it is like, hey, how much risk do I want to take in terms of where I'm going for charge follow-ups, which is definitely going to be follow-up, and whether I want to even go closer because I know I need to get the follow-up, to get the wall bounce, you know, or the tumble, at risk of being punished, basically. And similarly, you know, to the air shot, right? Like, that's got really high recovery and get punished from that. So. Yeah, but yeah, with Vi, like a really fun thing too is just like if this thing, when you are a character like Vi who has like really clear pass-through opportunities, like that sets up so well. Just like you can just like raw tag out there or something, or like if you're Kate, you call assist, you put the thing out, you handshake tag, and now you can be weaving back and forth as this thing is on top of them. Like that's a really natural path. We think of like a lot of her power enables characters who want to like cross up mix. Another thing is, oh my god, I'm sorry to send you on such a wild goose chase.
No problem. Let me plug this in for you.
That's awesome. Thanks.
Of course.
I probably have to change my buttons. Yeah. Mysteriously, I don't have to change my buttons. Okay. Yeah. So. For sure.
You gotta teach me that.
So that's, I would say, like the signature, the Caitlyn signature, right?
Yeah.
And this is something that kind of came together, honestly, like late in development in terms of us looking at her tools and where the really interesting parts were and like what was just fun to do with her. Kind of like this pattern of like, because what it was late in development, we added this idea that her charge shot could OTG, right? And so I can, you know, something like that, you can see it pick up, right? But the cool thing is where you start to do this to knock them down, and then you get the OTG, and now you're in business to do crazy stuff. And then you do this to keep going, this to knock down again, boom, right? Yeah, and you have to keep the aiming going all along. But then there's like unique kind of variants of it. For example, you might want to do this. But it doesn't reach. But she moves in such a way that if she's in the corner, it does. Now you get that, and now you can go into that or something, right?
Oh, sick.
You know, and it jacks up hit stun scaling a bunch, but that crumple kind of like gives you a lot of opportunity to do crazy stuff with teammates, you know. And then there's also there's fun stuff you can do with like ending nature resets using, and let's get wound off. Can you just hit me? Easiest one. Thanks. So let me see if I remember the route. Basically, anytime I've like wall bounced you, okay, so now I go like this. Oh no, that's not what I do first. Okay, check this out. Give me a few tries here. Okay, I have to space it right. But the basic idea is if you get the wall bounce on them, you can put this out and then run up and hit them with this. And now you're dealing. Now you have this thing on top of you. You're waking up into this thing, and I've got limit strike, right? And so this ends up being a really strong OP tool if you can knock them down first, right? Oh, that actually OTG, but limit strike, they're vulnerable, so that's what I do that. So you get and you get like that combo I showed you. You can do that full combo into it. So let's see. Oh, I was a little too late, but you get it, right? And now this thing, and then you can even like, or I can put this out and just like raw tag, and then you're dealing, you know, whatever. yeah, right. And you that can give you the combo off the overhead or whatever. Yeah. Also, you can use it for like corner extensions, like something like this. That just works. And so now, right? I don't remember. Oh, okay. So if I aimed up there, that would have worked, right?
And that's just about all we were able to cover with regards to Caitlyn. Hopefully this gives you a bit of an idea of where to start with regards to playing her. Special thanks to Riot for bringing me out, Alex for taking the time to sit down with me, and you for checking it out. If you want more 2xKO, check out some of the raw gameplay captured from the event featuring matches of me versus Alex, and for everything else, keep it here on IGN.